In the spirit of respect, authenticity, and reconciliation, the town of Slave Lake honors and acknowledges that we are situated on the traditional lands of Sawridge First Nation within Treaty 8 territory, home to Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit peoples who have occupied these lands since time immemorial. Councillor Gramick.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Call to question, those in favor. And that is carried. Councillor Achoba.
I would like to highlight the minutes from May 19th. When I took a quick look at it, I do see a couple of errors. I want to highlight them. Council present, I was present. My name isn't on there. As well as the date on there says May 12th, should be May 19th. And it should be minutes of the regular meeting of council, not community of the whole. Yes.
Can make a motion to bring it back.
So I would make a motion to bring back the minutes with the corrections or with the edits. Yeah.
Okay, motion on the floor to bring back the minutes for May 19th. Any further discussion? Call to question, those in favor. And that one is carried. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we'll bring up our delegation. Oh, I don't have that on mine. Oh, is there?
Oh, sorry. No, we're ready. I'm looking at something different.
Okay, we are now moving forward. Floor is yours if you want to introduce yourself. And
Okay, well, thank you very much for having me up here again. I'm Ken Drysdale, Chairman of the Board, the Masco Medical Center out of Grand Prairie. And it's really nice to see friendly, familiar faces again in the council since October election. You're about my 18th presentation on my tour again out of 32, and the previous ones, quite a few councils, switched out quite a few of their council members, and it's nice to see a good, solid group together. So thank you very much for having me over. I'll run through it fairly quick. I know some new ones, a couple of you new ones maybe don't know about us that much, but you can go on our website and read more in depth how we got to where we're at today. So yeah, as I said before, Masco is a Cree word meaning bear, and in the Cree culture, the bear is an important symbol representing good medicine and a powerful spirit used in traditional ceremony. Who we are, we're an innovative, not-for-profit registered charity committed to accelerating the process of improving access to medical specialists and family physicians. Led by residents and community of the Peace Region, Masco was brought together by a shared common goal of improving the quality of life and outcomes in Northern Alberta. So some of our main goals are to improve access to specialists and quality of care for patients in the region, help recruit, train, and retain doctors locally in the Peace Region, result in no overall increase to healthcare. Actually, over time, it'll save costs to the health treasury. I should click, I guess. Sorry, getting a little off here. If you've been to Grand Prairie to our new hospital, we're located right out the front doors. To the north of us, across the street's the Parkade, and to the right is the General Hospital, and down just to the lower right is the emergency department. Our building is 3 floors. We've got the structure for a 4th floor, but due to financing restrictions in the province not stepping up yet, we're only going with 3 floors to be able to pay for the building and keep it building. The 1st floor will be the academic teaching clinic operated by the University of Alberta. It's part of the NAP program of the North. And in there, once we're open, they'll have 22,000 square feet, and they'll have 10 first year, 10 second year resident students in there, graduating 10 a year out into the community. And 2nd floor is retail and pharmacy, and also a daycare. We've been very careful with the daycare and the restaurant proponents. We've had about 25 applicants for each, but it's very sensitive, both of those areas, so we've been very careful at who we select for that. The third floor is our Mass School Specialist Clinic. Originally, when we started this concept, that's what we were after in Grand Prairie, was develop a clinic that had team-based specialists at the clinic. And the U of A approached us in the fall of 2022 to help them establish a space for teaching clinic, and that's how we ended up doing a building. So a young student graduating out of Slave Lake to come to Grand Prairie and enter the NAP program. First, they'd have to go and get a 4-year bachelor's degree in science, and then go into the NAP program, and it's 4 years at the undergraduate education level, and then come over to our facility for the final 2 years to become a family physician. And so it's a 10-year program, and if they wanted to go on and be a general internist, it's another 4 to 5 years, so they could spend 15 years in Grand Prairie. And that's where you get them wanting to stay in a region, because that's where they're trained. And that's why a lot of our young people that leave to go to Edmonton, Calgary, or Toronto don't return, because they've created their life somewhere else. Then on our third floor is the team-based specialist clinic, and conditions for past the family physician. The more complex cases would be referred to us on the third floor, and that's where we'd have 1 or 2 or 3 doctors to create a team base and try and solve the issue quicker than waiting and going back and forth to Edmonton or Calgary. We'd bring together the top specialists and subspecialists in throughout Western Canada to help with the treatment plan and diagnosis. And our goal is to set up a patient with a treatment plan within 10 days of walking through the clinic doors, ensuring the patient does not get stuck in the referral system or contributing to worsening their health outcomes and quality of life. There's no fees. It'll be paid for by the ARP and Health Insurance Program of Alberta. Now the next one, we added this slide because it was hard our first tour to try and explain to everybody how it is today when you try and go see a specialist, and then what our long-term goals are. The one on the left is how it is today. You make most of your trips to Edmonton, Red Deer, Calgary, and quite often multiple trips. And the one on the right is how we are to see it going once we get open and get our systems working, as we'd be the collector of the difficult cases, and once in a while have to send you out to Edmonton, Calgary, Red Deer to see a specialist. And we have a third one that we haven't put out yet because we want to get open and make sure that these programs are working. But with any surplus out of tenancy or donors, once we're open, any surplus funds will go back into research and education. Another idea is to start setting up satellite offices, one in High Level, one in Peace River, and another one either in High Prairie or Slave Lake, so that the residents of those areas could go to that facility and virtual into ours in Grand Prairie, and maybe help a family not have to travel so far their first or second trip. We hired a consultant in January to help us with our expanded ARP for the third floor, and we were able to find out that in 2024, about 2,700 individuals from the Northwest had to leave work, pack up family, and travel out to see a specialist, and sometimes multiple times. And using the provincial level for doing that with hotel rooms, travel costs, so forth, that's about $7 million out of Northwest residents' pockets to go to those visits, and that's each and every year. So next is some picture. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Next is where we at today. We did sign that 60-year land agreement with the NWP Land Trust, which is sitting on land that's owned by Alberta Infrastructure. It's a 40-year with 2 10-year renewals. This past January, we signed the 25-year tenant agreement on the first floor with the University of Alberta and Primary Care Alberta in order for them to have training space. The facility tenants, we've signed offers with daycare and pharmacy, and still going through the final process. The restaurant is still under consideration. Like I said, we're trying to get the right proponent for that. The application for our specialist clinic funding has been submitted at the end of April, And we've had a couple email communications to try and set up timelines to get negotiating on that. What we want to do on our with the ARP on this floor is have them salaried 5 days a week, 8 till 5. And if they want to still spend time out in the fee-for-service, they maybe have a 0.5 in our clinic and the rest of the time out in fee-for-service. It'll take some time to change the mindset of the standard fee-for-service system that most of them are used to, but the young people that want some family and some life will come to this system eventually to be salaried and spend time with family. We've met with 8 out of the 11 general internists in Grand Prairie and had some good conversations with them how we can start out and move forward and even start recruiting some graduates that are out of university from other places within the province in Western Canada. The building contractors, Clark Builders, we got 70% local trades. One of the reasons we did that was because they know the importance of this building to the Northwest region and their families, and will not always be there trying to get change orders and extras and drive the costs up. Construction commenced in June of 25. There's a pedway that we're going to take from this building across to the pedway that comes out to the parking lot in the hospital. It's taken us till now to even get started on that. When we first started the project, AHS called us and told us to get pedway out of the speech. And so we've just re-entered now that and starting to get negotiations going with them. Infrastructure Minister Martin Long's been very good and supportive in creating those discussions. Our capital funding's in progress. So far we have about 17.5 to 18 million raised, and gift in kind contributions are going to be pushing the 2.5 million by the time we're done. The 15 million capital provincial funding is pending. We went through the budget for 2026 and we're unsuccessful. How we come up with the 15 million is quite often you'll hear the province say P3 projects. Well, this facility, when it's fully without tenant improvements, when the base building's done and all the groundwork and everything, and you take your gift in kind, your engineering design, project management, and the contractor, it'll be about a $45 million building, 105,000 square feet with a parkade in the bottom. And if you look at the 45 million, you have 15 million from the province, 15 from municipalities, and 15 will raise outside. So the tenant improvements, we're hoping to get started in January. We're having a planning session tomorrow with all the trades and the contractor and the engineering group to see if we're on track for that, to have the base building done by January to start doing tenant improvements on the first floor for the University of Alberta. And with the anticipated opening in June of 2027, we're still on target for that unless we have some other delays that we're not aware of at this time. The University of Alberta would like in there in June to be able to ready to receive students in July of 2027. The next is starting some pictures of the current construction. This is probably one of the more recent ones, our wood structure going up and be open middle of next summer. This is some of the construction going on through the summer here. We kind of got rid of our winter pictures about a month ago. We had a pretty tough construction season there with December and January, which did put us back a bit doing concrete and parkade. You'll see our timber beams. We ordered them. They came from Austria. Reason for that is we bid 3 Canadian firms, 1 in Alberta, 2 in BC, and 1 Austrian firm. They were $1 million cheaper delivered to site, and we had a forestry engineer do a study on all 4 proponents, and they had a little better tensile strength and finish and a better glue lamp process. You can see them starting to move stuff into place and start going up in the floors. And inside a lot of the building, this is when you look up, walking through the building, especially in the common areas, you'll see wood beam structure above like that. Here's the communities and municipalities that have given us some funding to date, and it's continuing on an ongoing basis. Here's the businesses and donors that have helped us out so far with gift in kind and some funds to move forward. Private and family contributions is close to 1.8 million. And the board members have put in over 600,000 and over 35,000 volunteer hours and 80,000 kilometers. We do have a partnership with NAF for any donor contributions and so forth. And here still is the survey done on Slave Lake. How we came up with the 170 per resident was taking our original budget of 35 million and dividing 210,000 residents in Northwest into it, came to $170 capital investment for every man, woman, and child in Northwest Alberta, which made more sense to everybody to understand the cost of this project. I'm not here to ask for any of that today. What'll happen is, like over at High Prairie, I forget what their number was for the town, but one of their residents in April gave us 500 grand, so that comes off of the census number. So anyone donating will balance out this number eventually. So what we're, on this second go-around, what we're asking from the municipalities and councils is if they could find a education champion in their community. They'd go around to the schools, say grade 7 up, once a year and talk to the students, letting them know what's going on in Grand Prairie for medical education and the facilities there and what's happening with the university programs, so they can start thinking early that they don't have to go far from home to become a doctor or nurse and start that thinking process. And then the other one is if you happen to know of a champion that would like to help us raise some funds in the area, and we'll arm them with the information and go through it with them and be their support for the region. So that's my presentation today. Any questions or concerns?
From the floor to council for any questions. Councillor Hughes.
Thank you so much for the presentation again, Ken. I believe this is the third time, I think, we're seeing you, if definitely the second. It's really nice to see the hospital actually coming along now. I really appreciate you including some of the photos and stuff in here. It's definitely been a massive project for you guys, and I just really commend you on your perseverance with this project overall. It's very exciting to see it all come together here, certainly. Your ask here about just how we can help. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what you're looking for in terms of a community champion? Are you kind of meaning someone in Slave Lake to sort of go around and let people know about funding opportunities?
Yeah.
Or what exactly are you looking for there?
Yeah, just somebody in the community that knows about our project and would be willing to go around and just make sure they're aware. We can arm them with pamphlets or go to some some of your seminars in town and just keep everybody aware of it and the opportunity. If they have extra funds or wills or something, they want to help out in health in the north and realize the opportunity for students here. So just something like that. And we have a young lady that's we'll reach out and contact them and we'll help them get up to speed with it. And they can come over to Grand Prairie and fill them in totally.
Thank you. So they can reach out to you directly then, if that's
absolutely,
the case?
yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Councillor Gramlich.
Excuse me, a follow-up to Councillor Hughes. Is that something that maybe the regional health thing could work through and add it to your stuff to make work one way or another?
Yeah, that's actually kind of where I was thinking in my mind. I just wasn't ready to quite verbalize that yet. But we do have a Tri-Council Health Committee. So myself, Councillor Bowes, and Councillor Chobel, we all sit on that. So perhaps this is something that we can bring to that community as well to kind of raise awareness and maybe see if there's some opportunity to sort of spread the message throughout the community and just, yeah, try to do our part to do that for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Councillor Williams?
I
Hi.
very much enjoyed this. I think this is absolutely amazing that you've seen a service that was needed and are going out and trying to fill that service for the people of the province, and I think it's amazing. My question would be more towards involvement with the school systems here and in any town. Do you have any contacts within the school systems for like the high schools, seniors that are about to graduate or maybe going into senior high, thinking about what classes to take? Because I know they organize tours for some universities and things like that.
Yeah, no, we're not in charge of any of that. That's more the University of Alberta's responsibility. But
Okay.
but what I'm finding, talking to them, I'm asking them if they're getting out to the schools, and they say yeah we are and stuff, but more local to Grand Prairie, like they're getting to Sexsmith and Wembley
Yeah.
and Spear River and Fairview,
So-
but not to the outer lying regions. And I think it needs to be messaged into the schools.
So for this community champion would help raise awareness as well in our local school systems?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
And it could be a retired teacher that
Yeah,
still wants to go
yeah.
visit classrooms and talk to students. And it's not doing it 10 times a year. It's just go there once a year and make sure they're aware of what's going on in close to home to get a medical career. So,
Yeah, thank you.
Anything further from council? Okay, well, I appreciate the presentation again.
Yeah.
Happy to see you here, and thank you for going through that. I look forward to the facility opening.
yeah, thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Councillor Kamlik,
Let's make a motion to accept the reporter's information.
motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question, those in favor. Okay. And then, as far as business arising from delegations, do we want to make a motion to take the information back to the Tri-Council Health Committee? That would probably be helpful, just so we can track it all. Councillor Hughes.
Well, I think it's going to be one of us bringing it.
That's what I say, it's
back
just.
anyways, but
just as a.
yeah.
Yes, tracking.
Yeah, for tracking, okay. So motion for myself to bring
Yep.
it back?
That's fine. As a council
Or I
rep.
could
Yeah.
say Councillor Bowes, maybe.
Council representative. Council rep is fine.
I move to have a council representative bring this back for discussion at the next Tri-Council Health. Just looking for, partnerships and collaboration opportunities. I think we're already thinking of the RPAP group as well that we just worked with. And there's already kind of some training and education sessions that are going on. So maybe there's a way we can kind of lump this in and sort of work together on that. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. There's the motion on the floor for a council rep to bring this information back to the Tri-Council Health Committee. Any further discussion? Call to question, those in favor. And that is carried. Okay, we can move on to new business. Kush, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Your Worship and members of council. The purpose of this report is to provide recommendation to council for awarding the work for replacement of 2 boiler units at the MRC. Replacement of 2 boiler units at the MRC is identified in 2026 capital budget under MRC Energy Efficiency Improvement Project. The existing 3 boiler units have been in service since their original install in 2010-11. 2 of the boilers, which serve as primary units, providing glycol circulation to the radiant heating system for the field house, Arena 2 lobby and dressing rooms, are nearing their end of useful life and are showing significant wear and tear, declining efficiency, and increasing maintenance concerns. Sourcing replacement parts has also become increasingly difficult. The 3rd boiler unit, which is primarily used by Slave Lake Ice Patrol for outdoor rinks, is in relatively good operating condition and will continue to remain in service. Town administration recently concluded the request for proposal task, seeking proposals from interested proponents. RFP was advertised on Alberta Purchasing Connection and our website for local participation. Upon closing, only one proposal was received from Total Plumbing and Heating Limited, with a proposed cost of $332,276 plus GST. The cost includes supply and install of 2 new boiler units, including removal and reinstallation of expansion tank, piping, venting, and insulation. The pricing proposed is in line with the previous budgetary estimates completed last year. The proponent submission package included all the mandatory requested documents as per the RFP requirements. Their company personnel also attended the mandatory site meetings prior to closing of this opportunity. Total Plumbing and Heating are operating out of Westlock and has completed many similar or larger sized boiler replacement projects in the last few years. They have proposed to initiate work sometime in mid to late July upon delivery of the new boiler units and complete by mid to late August. The new proposed units are expected to provide thermal efficiency of 97.3% compared to 85% thermal efficiency provided by existing unit, and hence will result in energy cost savings. Council has a couple of options, either to proceed with proposed work by awarding the contract to recommended proponent or do not proceed with the proposed work. The funds required to complete the proposed project is allocated in 2026 capital budget. 50% of the project cost will be supported by MCCAC, which is an association of Alberta municipalities under their Community Energy Conservation Program, and the other 50% is coming from CCPF. All the proposed work will be carried out as per manufacturer's requirement, applicable codes and standards. Communication will be provided to users attending the MRC as required. The proposed project renews the critical asset while improving service reliability at one of our important facilities, and hence administration is recommending council to award the MRC boiler replacement project to Total Plumbing and Heating Limited.
Okay. Councillor Choba?
Thank you, Kush. That was pretty straightforward. I move that council awards the MRC boiler replacement project to Total Plumbing and Heating Limited.
Motion on the floor. Do we have any further discussion? Call to question, those in favor. And that one is carried. And if you want to move on to your...
Next one is our recommendation to council for water main and sanitary main replacement project approved for 2026. The project included in this report is like the section of water main replacement on 11th Ave Southeast between 9th Street Southeast and 12th Street Southeast, and a section of sanitary main replacement along alleyway between 5th Street Northeast and 6th Street Northeast. So water main replacement project addresses the replacement of aging water main on 11th Street Southeast between 9th Street and 12th Street Southeast. The existing ductile iron line was installed sometime in late 60s to early 70s, is well beyond its expected service life and has experienced repeated failures in recent years. During recent repairs, export sections of the pipe were found to be in poor condition and are expected to fail again if not replaced. Each break results in service disruptions for nearby homes and increased repair cost. Once replaced, it will help prevent further disruptions and reduce ongoing maintenance demands. The approximate length of replacement is 340 meters. The water master plan does not identify any deficient water flows or fire flow deficiency, eliminating the need for upsizing the water main in this area. The existing ductile iron line will be replaced with PVC DR18 line as per the current infrastructure standard. During 2026 capital budget, a budget acquisition of $1.5 million was approved for this project based on pre-construction estimate. Sanitary main replacement project addresses the replacement of existing clay tile sanitary main along alleyway between 5th Street and 6th Street Northeast. In 2025, attempts were made to CCTV the line, but the inspection could not be completed due to significant sediment accumulation as a result of infiltration and lack of adequate grading, resulting in standing wastewater in the main. The findings indicated advanced structural deterioration and poor hydraulic performance. The line is original clay tile and is at beyond its service expectancy. The town continues to experience recurring backup issues in this area, and the line is clearly retaining sediments and solids rather than conveying it downstreams. Also, due to sediment infiltration, multiple sinkholes were observed along the gravel alleyway last year. One of the significant larger sinkholes were observed early May 2026 this year, requiring emergency repairs to minimize impacts to nearby residents with potential line backups and to protect ATCO above surface utilities from any damages. Both the projects were approved by council and were included in 2026 capital budget. During the time of tendering, administration made strategic decision to combine both projects under the same tender call to get better overall pricing. Administration concluded the bidding process on May 27th, 2026, and 3 bids were received upon closing. GS Construction submitted a bid of $2,023,797. E-Construction submitted the bid of $1,799,650.56. And Firma Contracting Incorporated submitted a bid of $1,586,780.39. All the bid amounts are excluding GST. All bids submitted were found to be compliant in nature with the request with respect to mandatory requirements. Bid evaluations was completed based on 10% on schedule, 35% on past performance on similar projects, 20% on key team members, and 35% on price. Based on our evaluation, the highest scoring bid was submitted by Firma Contracting Incorporated and is recommended for construction contract award. Firma Contracting has been established in 2017, specializing in civil, concrete, and industrial contracting work, operating out of Alberta and Saskatchewan. Firma has not done much work in our region, but based on previous work experience, they have done reputable work and have the capacity to complete the scope defined in our bid documents. As per tentative project schedule provided with the bid submission, they plan to mobilize on August 3rd and demobilize on September 4th. Council again may choose to proceed with the project by awarding the contract to the recommended contractor or choose not to proceed with the proposed project at this time. Anticipated project cost is expected to be $1,919,723.42 before GST. It includes the recommended bid amount, 10% contingency, and engineering and material testing cost. Approved capital budget of $1.5 million is provided for water main replacement on 11th Ave Southeast between 9th Street and 12th Street Southeast, and $500,000 provided for sanitary main replacement along alleyway between 5th Street Northeast and 6th Street Northeast in 2026 capital budget to be funded through debentures. All the proposed construction work will be completed as per infrastructure standards. Once the contract is awarded, notification letters will be sent out to adjacent residential homeowners notifying of construction timelines and other details as necessary. Timely notification will also be released through our website, social media, and warrant alerts. The timelines of full road closures, if there are any, will be shared with emergency services and school division in advance to plan their detours as necessary. The project work intends to renew failing asset while minimizing future service disruptions to residents, improving overall core service delivery. And hence, administration is recommending council to award the contract to Firma Contracting in the amount of $1,586,780.39, excluding GST.
Councillor Hughes?
Thank you so much, Kush. Just looking at the evaluation matrix here, I can't help but notice that 2 of them are quite close together in score.
Yes.
I mean, the one thing here that's sort of overarching to me is just the local project experience. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on what you've heard of Firma? Because you're kind of saying that they're not necessarily been in our region, but have they done work recently in Alberta? And can you elaborate a little bit more for me
Yes.
on what
So
they have done?
local project experience, what we look at is we don't necessarily look at if they have worked in Slave Lake or not. If they have, that's great. If not, then we usually like to see that making sure that they have worked in a region where the soil conditions and stuff are expected as Slave Lake.
Okay.
So based on that, Firma has worked in some of the communities where soil conditions are similar. Recently, they are working at LRT for the LRT project in Edmonton under Marigold Infrastructure as one of their subcontractors.
Okay.
And they have done past work in Edmonton, around Saskatchewan area. They have done southern Edmonton as well. They have been submitting bids since last 2 years on our underground infrastructure projects, but they were usually in the middle. They were not high, not low, but they were usually in the middle range.
Okay.
But this time, I think their bid is like they've sharpened up their pencil, and their bid is like lowest.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Councillor Choba?
I'd like to move that council awards the construction contract for water main and sanitary main replacement project to Firma Contracting Inc. in the amount of $1,586,780.39, excluding GST.
Okay, any further questions or discussion? Okay, motion on the floor, all those in favor? And that is carried.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Up to question period. Anything for administration from council? Going once, going twice. I see none. Anything for state of the lake? Councillor Hughes.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find my note about this. I just wanted to mention that I had the pleasure of attending the grand opening yesterday for Rising Above Ministries. They're now ready to start the very important work of helping individuals in our region to break free from the cycles of addiction. So they had their grand opening just yesterday, and they had a great turnout there. I just wanted to mention that and just say congratulations to the team at Rising Above on their success and being open in our region for business. It's very exciting.
Awesome, thank you. Councillor Choba.
Thank you, Councillor Hughes, for pointing that out. I also want to add to what you said that, yes, it is a great resource for our community in our region. They continue to take donations, so if you feel like you want to contribute to their success and to the success of our region, feel free to make donations to them and reach out to either Bruce or Chris. Thank you.
Councillor Hudson.
Yes, tomorrow, rain or shine, there's a barbecue downtown, Renee Plaza.
Renee Hall Plaza.
Renee Hall Plaza, thank you, put on by Rotary and ATCO. So between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, free for everyone. It's just senior appreciation, so thank you.
Awesome. I would entertain a motion to accept as information. Councillor Williams.
Accept as information?
Yep.
Yeah. A motion to accept as information.
Motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And then I would entertain a motion. Councillor Macho was already there. Perfect.
Motion to go in closed session.
Motion for closed session. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that one is carried. Thank you. No mics on my end. Oh, there we go. We're back? Perfect. Counselor Williams.
I move to amend motion number 102-2026 and appoint Virginia DeFrancesco to the Library Board for a 3-year term starting May 12, 2026, ending May 12, 2029.
Motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that is carried. Counselor Hughes.
I move to amend motion number 103-2026 and appoint Leanna Dirtle to the Library Board for a 3-year term starting May 12th, 2026, ending May 12th, 2029.
Motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that is carried. And Counselor Bowes.
I would like to make a motion for our CAO to engage with the Municipal District of Lesser Slave River Number 124 Administration to accept the offer from the Municipal District for no less than $642,500, which is 50% of the appraised property value for the jointly owned Visitor Information Center. In addition, to approve the termination of the master agreement for the Lesser Slave Regional Visitor Information Center with the Municipal District of Lesser Slave River Number 124.
Motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that is carried. Counselor Choba.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that is carried.